Hello and welcome. You're watching News 9 Live. Our top story at this hour is this. Bengaluru battles rain. Bengaluru is drowning because of the deluge. Bengaluru witnessed historic rainfall on Sunday in the first spell of the onset of southwest monsoon, breaking a 133-year-old record. According to the Indian Meteorological Department, the city received 111.1 millimeters of rainfall, surpassing the previous record of 101.6 millimeters set on 16th of June 1891. No wonder it's 133 years. The average rainfall for June in Bengaluru is 106.5 millimeters. Now, the IMD has forecast continued rainfall for the next 2 days with overcast skies and light to moderate thundershowers. The heavy downpour combined with expected rainfall puts Bengaluru on track to break its highest monthly rainfall record for June, which stands at 228.2 millimeters recorded in 1996. The intense rainfall and thundershowers accompanied by gusty winds caused immense inundation and damage across the city. The Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, which is BBMP, received 285 complaints on Sunday alone, mainly concerning trees and branches which had fallen on roads as well as vehicles. You know, if you want to know the specific number, there were around 206 complaints of tree having fallen, 41 complaints of branch having fallen, and 38 related to inundation and water stagnation. The BBMP Forest Wing reported 118 tree fall complaints, with 40 trees falling in the south zone, particularly near Jayanagar. Additionally, there were 128 complaints of branches falling on Sunday. You know, but amongst all this, the question that we are asking is that rains in Bengaluru create havoc year after year. And this year, the BBMP promised that it shall do all the work to see that rains don't become a nightmare in the city. But has the BBMP been able to do that? Because every year we speak about pothole deaths on roads. We see how this city, which is called the IT hub, which is called the Silicon of India, actually drowns under heavy rains, how water comes into people's homes, how vehicles are damaged, how many people are unable to go to work. The IT sector particularly, they said they petitioned the government saying that we are working from home and this is not the way to really go further. So has the BBMP walked the talk? Mohammad Wajiullah, my colleague, is live with me right now. Let me now go across to him from Bengaluru. Waji, you know, today of course we are seeing all these visuals on the screen even as you and I are speaking. But the point is that the buck stops with the BBMP, Vaji. On the 6th of May, and they carried on, you know, Tushar had come and said, listen, I am doing everything possible to see that it doesn't create such a havoc and such a deluge in Bengaluru. But nothing seems to have changed. You know, all the sewage water is getting into all the lakes and creating an impact forever. People's homes are inundated, the roads are inundated. Why is it that the BBMP is not called? Because they said we will repair roads, stormwater drains, everything. But I don't think they were really ready for this. They were caught unawares. Would you agree, Wajiullah?
Well, exactly, Sudha. A few days back, and like you mentioned, Tushar came to our channel. He spoke to us and he told us that we are all prepared. Stormwater drains have been cleaned, and we also saw them doing this. But from what we learned is that they did not expect this form of rain or this heavy rain to fall in one day, is what they've said. But the whole idea is when you're prepared, you have to be prepared for the worst. If this was the worst, and you were not, if this was the beginning of the worst, and then you were not prepared for this, then how bad it could get. But it's not that they're getting scot-free today. Right now, as we speak, a meeting has begun between DK Shiv Kumar and the BESCOM and the BBMP authorities. DK Shiv Kumar has called them to Vidhan Sabha and he's taking a check on the situation of the city and why so many trees fell down, despite the fact that you had informed the city that a thorough survey has been done with regards to the number of trees that are there in the city, and what is the age of the city, and what is the possibility of them falling off in the coming monsoon. So despite having done all these surveys, still 206 trees fall off, tree falling off at the metro station and blocking the entire metro for hours is something that you clearly shows that there is some form of unpreparedness somewhere or the other.
You know, good you brought up DK Shivakumar's name here, who's responsible for, Bengaluru. And I remember last time when the pothole deaths happened, Vaji, you were reporting there when a young techie, she had drowned, under an underpass when her scooty went inside, and there was such kind of chaos. It was so sorrowful at that time. I remember both Siddaramaiah and also DK saying, listen, we are really prepared. This is what we are going to do. Vajiullah, I ask you something. When there more than 200 talukas in Karnataka are facing a drought, they are not ready. When they say monsoons have failed us, they are not ready. Then when it is excessive rain, they are not ready. What are they ready for? And tomorrow being an important day, the results are going to come out. There will be movement across. How are people going to negotiate, Vajiullah?
So that if you take this question and ask a BBMP officer or the BBMP official that how are you not prepared, and the only answer you will get is, Guru, this is nature. The nature, how can you be prepared? It has its own fury. So that is how the responses have been, and that is how the attitude has been of the BBMP. We see such visuals day in and year after year when it rains in Bengaluru. But what doesn't change is the attitude. What remains constant is the way the city gets clogged, the trees that fall. Imagine 206 trees in one day's rain. Imagine what could happen. And this time, the IMD has also predicted that they're going to be very good monsoon. And for the next 5 days, this is the beginning of monsoon, and for the next 5 days, there is a yellow alert. So that means there is going to be a lot of rain. And tomorrow, with it being a counting day, with a lot of movement, there could be a lot of problems. The roads, in fact, a month back, you and I had also discussed about the potholes, and now the chief minister spoke about how he'll sort it out in 1 month. But that also hasn't been sorted. We still see a lot of potholes on the road. So these things may cause a lot of problems in the next 5 days. So our advice is to people to see if you could stay inside when it rains. Make sure your cars are not parked in such a way, and you're away from electric wires and transformers, so that casualties
Right.
does
But
not
Ji,
happen.
tell me something. One of the most, the horrific things was when it fell, a tree fell and actually created a hurdle in the metro service in the city. Talk a bit about it, because even then the BBMP said, we did not expect such a huge tree to fall. I mean, don't you think that it is very lazy kind of an answer, Vajiullah?
Well, if you would see those visuals, it was a huge tree that fell right over the metro at the Trinity Circle region. Now, Trinity Circle is in the middle of MG Road and near the Lido Mall metro station, and it's one of the most frequently moved junction. And at a situation like that, a lot of people had an inconvenience, and it was pouring outside. So those people who got stuck in those got stuck in the metro had to leave and come out of the metro, because there was a lot of people inside, and they had no other choice but to
My
come
God.
out on the road. So the situation clearly was bad, but for the time being, the metro is working since yesterday. There was a 3-hour delay, but it's back right now. So let's hope that in the coming days it does not happen.
All right, and on that note of hope from Mohammad Wajiullah, my colleague who's been reporting relentlessly on the situation of the deluge which has hit Bengaluru, it's time for me to thank him and also take a break, but I'll be back with lots more. Stay with us.